All right, welcome everybody to the first streamed Corsace Open 2023 match. We have Group A, 9th seed KFC ZINGER box up against 24th seed GHOUL mode. I'm Vordy, and joining me is going to be Knots in the commentating booth. How you going, man?
Well, doing great. We were supposed to be streaming a match earlier, but some technical difficulties. We are here now, rearing to go. Gonna get this going. I'm excited actually to see KFC ZINGER box. That's like the main thing.
Yeah.
The new Australian boys bursting onto the scene. I don't know. I recall during the qualifier results reveal stream them basically taking over the chat. I feel like they were just so hype every time they saw KFC's ZINGER box
Yeah.
on the top 16 results for any map. But I don't know, there's some great players and like new players. I'm kind of excited for that team in particular.
Yeah, I think part of it is the Australian pride in the KFC ZINGER box team, obviously a full Australian team. This stream will be a little bit scuffed potentially. I think there was meant to be a stream match earlier, didn't end up happening, but if there's any issues with stream, pull tight. I think it's some first match problems. We've seen No Mod 2 banned out from KFC ZINGER box, one of GHOUL mode's better performances and qualities, and GHOUL mode ending up banning Hidden 1, which makes sense. I think the hidden gap was pretty big in qualities, but this is KFC ZINGER box first pick Hard Rock 1. I think a skill set they're going to be pretty good at. This plays sort of like a conventional DT1, which I think KFC ZINGER box is going to like a lot with a lot of their mechanics roster.
Yeah, they were fourth on HR1 in quals. It's a bit of a different, I mean, it's quite a different map, but nonetheless showing some hard rock proficiency, maybe reasoning behind this pick.
And the reason I attribute this playing sort of like a conventional DT1 is the BPM. It's 250, which is much higher than you normally expect, but it's still mostly single tappable. Otherwise plays like an aim pick. But currently, GHOUL mode at 3 FCs to 1 FC on KFC ZINGER box, and they're currently winning. Korean Maluko does find a drop. We obviously had to get into the stream a little bit late, so we'll probably talk more about some of the players later.
Yeah, this is backfiring at the moment off the back of performances from Cedru Creator GD. Actually, two players I'm not terribly familiar with. Cedru, someone I've seen around before, but Creator GD, apparently #1 Spain.
I mean, I think he's a super high ranked player. I think he has like a 1K on Wizard's Tower. Again, a new
He's got
name
the mechanics.
Yeah, he's definitely got the mechanics for something like this. I would say
nowadays I only ever see tournament stuff, so I'm kind of clueless sometimes. It's
yeah, for sure. Sometimes you just see new players pop up on like the top 50, top 100 rankings. Arbusion does find a break. I think currently a little bit of an underperformance from the Australian boys right now. Currently, Big Snag and O/ holding the line. Big Snag you might also know as Milo Milkshake, potentially.
Oh, actually, I had no idea that was Milo Milkshake the whole time.
Yeah. That name change did surprise me. And O/ is like, currently I wouldn't say super known. He popped off in 4WC and is coming up as one of Australia's best overall, this well-rounded tournament players, especially on like this 6-star rating difficulty level. Really good overall.
Cedru and Creator GD have gone so huge, but also the backup scores from Manibat and Korean Maluko are nothing scoff at either. A really strong team performance out of GHOUL mode on this map. 3.5 million team score. It's kind of an insane performance on this.
I think this is one of the better, because I think they played this map in their last match, right? And I don't think it went this well.
Yeah.
Creator and Cedru popping off in the FCs and just really good backing score. Like, that is a rough first pick from KFC ZINGER box to not just lose, but like I think even if KFC Zinger Box had a much better showing, which they probably expected, they still might have lost that pick. So might have to change their strategy.
Yeah, they still would have 2.8 million last match for Ghoul mode. That was a very strong map actually for Ghoul mode. It might even be their single best map in terms of performance. I mean, that's really great stuff coming out of them. I guess it does make sense, especially Manivad is someone I might have pinned as like an HR player. And even though Ghoul mode is, I believe, the if I remember correctly, the 24th seed.
Yeah.
So literally bottom seed to qualify for the tournament. Still got something going for him here.
Yeah, really good way to start. I mean, obviously on paper, this is the biggest seed gapping in the entire round robin bracket, 9 to 24. So opening up the match, winning your opponent's pick by like I think almost 1 million. Really good way to start out. Might even look at Hard Rock 2 as an option.
Yeah.
Based on that, because Hard Rock 2 is pretty conventional. Conventional BPM, obviously more flow aim focused, but you have that. If you think there's a Hard Rock gap in the teams.
I guess the fear would be that, I mean, looking at qualifier results, it should favor KFC Zinger Box.
Yeah.
Maybe not feeling quite as good about the precision, but DT1 apparently going to be the pick, going for something very, very conventional mechanics, which might actually be a pretty good move. I think this is a good idea, just trying to battle it out on pretty much pure consistency, pure mechanics. Likely going to be the thing that favors them most, especially if Zedru and Creator GD are feeling themselves on that.
Yeah, it's a scary pick just because this was also KFC Zinger Box's best performance in qualies, but I think one thing to note is how different this DT1 is, which is, you know, satellite Senya, 230 BPM, just pure. This is the definition of DT1 juice in my eyes, is these kinds of maps. Meanwhile, the DT1 in qualies was a lot more unconventional. So, and based on the Hard Rock 1, I mean, very similar BPM ranges, obviously more tapping included, but still pretty aim focused. I think this might be the closest pick they have to Hard Rock 1 is this DT1. And being their best performance in qualifiers, sticking to their guns, I think a good pick to go for.
Satellite already has a ranked map of this, but
yeah.
I guess he just loves Senya so much, in this song in particular, apparently, that
I think even one of the early, like the jump pattern that gets you into the map, you'll see it at the top of the screen. It's like the exact same pattern in the ranked one, like very, very similar. It's like a very noticeable pattern, like this, like that side-to-side triangle, so similar in the ranked version as well.
Little tribute, perhaps.
Tribute to themselves.
Yeah, tribute to themselves. I will say, this is actually the one point that Ghoul Mode took in their prior match as well on this map. They had a 4 million team score, only won by like 50k. So, tells you something about what kind of map this is and what you might expect to see on it. Certainly one of the easier maps.
Break from Silent, I think 2 players are going to be looking at as the biggest carries for KFC Zinger Box is Sayo and CS2. They both performed top 20 as players in qualies. So you generally expect them to be the rocks holding the team together. So Sayo being the first to break is unexpected to be sure, but it's only 1 break so far. Plenty of time to recover.
So it's still a bit scary though, because Sayo kind of has to hold from here. Sayo breaks again, it might already be a bit dicey, given the kind of map this is. This is probably at least like a 2-way, 3-way, or die map. You kind of need high scores to compete on this.
Yeah, no, for sure. This might be the most comfortable map in the entire pool. Not to say that it's easy, just it's comfortable. You know, this is something, if this was ranked, people would play it probably for some PPs. Like, this is really, really fun to play. And just because of that, it means a lot of people will be able to FC it. So if you don't get it like at least a 3-way, it's looking scary at this stage. right now, Ghoul mode is still four-weighing on all very high axe creator, GD, a little bit behind in accuracy, but obviously doing fine holding the combo. On the side of KFC, you have an SS from Arbusion, two very high accuracies from CS2 and Big Snag. So, I mean, all it takes is one miss from Ghoul mode, and it does happen. Manivat will drop, and now since Sayo is still holding that 900 combo, the score lead is going to go towards KFC's Zinger box as this map goes on, and there's plenty of time for the score lead to recover. And Central
oh god. Okay. Total shift here. It is rocketing over to the side of KFC Zinger box. Ghoul mode might actually already be doomed. They really need to see breaks.
Yeah, that score lead is gonna ramp up dramatically fast. What is not just the three-way, but I think all of the three-way on Zinger box is out-acting anyone on the opposite side. Which obviously doesn't make a huge difference, but it does make a difference now with that combo from side. And yeah, with Korean Maluko dropping at this stage, it's pretty much over. It's only creator GD holding the remaining FC on Ghoul mode. I believe this is KFC Zinger box on their way to take their breakpoint back.
Yeah, traded breakpoints. Certainly not what Ghoul mode would have hoped for, given the outlook of the match. Really wanted to take this point, get off to a strong start here.
Yeah, it's going to be KFC Zinger box with a 4.3 million scoreline. Very, very solid. I think everyone above 900k. Sayo recovering very well. Arbusion missing right at the end. But you can see CS2 and Big Snag having no issues. Creator with the lone FC on the side of Ghoul mode. And honestly, the team doing like pretty well. All above 700k, 900k and a million. That's like a good score. But that's the scary thing about picking DT1 into a team that is this good at DT1s is you need to do even better than that.
You need to four-way.
Yeah, you need to four-way.
I mean, this team score is pretty extreme. It's pretty ridiculous. You really, really just need to four-way. If you don't four-way, you're almost definitely losing. So maybe the DT1 just a little bit too comfortable for KFC Zinger box at least. But still, a pick that certainly made sense on paper for Ghoul mode still. I think they can't be blamed for trying to go for it.
Oh, 100%. I think that's the right pick. It's just, it's tough to convert when you're fighting a team this strong.
Yeah.
Still 1-1 going into KFC Zinger box's next pick. Definitely think hidden is an option. I think the biggest mod gap overall was probably in the hiddens. Zinger box doing very well on both hiddens. Ghoul mode, not as much, so maybe hidden 2 is an option. And I think this hidden 2 is very, very hard as well, and they go for it. They go for the hidden 2. Sticking to the AR8 squad, I expect to see like O/, JGLF, and then Arbusion. I don't know who's fourth for this. Probably CS2 maybe. CS2. JGLF, another name who had a really good showing in 4WC for Team Australia. An absolute demon of a reading player. Expecting to see them do very well in this.
Yeah, that would basically that alone. Even this is not literally the 4WC Australia roster, but this is still something I kind of expected to see from them, given what we saw in 4WC. Australia just really good on the reading and the hidden.
Yeah. And this is at, like, I would say this hidden 2 is one of the hardest maps in this week, if not the hardest. I mean, it's 6.2 stars with uncomfortable aim patterns at AR8 hidden. This is bordering close to Hard Rock 1-star rating. I think Hard Rock 1's like 6.3. So even if you're sort of okay at AR8, skill gap in this skill set will manifest itself very quickly for this pick as we get into it. Believe maybe the rosters are still being figured out. Let's wait to get into this.
Well, for a little factoid about the map, apparently you used to have a bunch of bus sliders, a bunch of stupid bus sliders, or something along those lines. We'll see if there's still any left. I haven't looked over the map with a fine comb, so I wouldn't necessarily be aware.
Looks like for the teams, you have Sayo, O/, JGLF, CS2 for KFC ZINGER, and Hanori, Manivat, Creator GD, and Korean Maluko on the side of GHOUL mode. A few early misses. I believe it's currently 2-2. We're going to see getting into the jumps. 3 players on the side of GHOUL mode break. Only Sayo. Actually, no, that's 3 drops on the side of KFC ZINGER as well. It's now JGLF's FC against Creator GD's 200 combo. And now Creator missing. It's already only JGLF, the Australian reading monster. What's up, JG? How's it going, man? As the lone FC, I have high hopes of him getting a score in this match.
Sounds like a curse to me. We'll see.
Yeah. I want to say
he actually pulls it off.
Cursor smoking is like the biggest nerve increaser during an FC. But he's doing it.
I mean, this is the skill set of GGLF, right? So, I think regardless of anything, you just expect him to crush it.
You can see the rest of Team KFC ZINGER is finding a lot of breaks. Hanori was on a recovery. It's now only Creator GD once again. There's breaks everywhere. I think it's just something you expect to see. Like, a lot of these players are really good reading players. JGLF unfortunately breaks, but is still the biggest score by a mile.
It pretty much struggles across the board. I don't know how many combos there's been above like 300, 400. It's pretty low score averages, so still doing plenty of work here.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw this match get played in Fuka versus GHOUL mode, and nobody on the other team had above 400k. The JGLF is already matching those scores. And now we see Sayo and O/ both on a solid recovery. Also Hanori, Manivat, and Korean Maluko, but the damage JGLF has done, I think, is already enough.
Yeah, also with the recovering combo.
Yeah.
To stave off anything from the side of GHOUL mode.
I mean, these patterns just look brutal. No, honestly, like, the score gap isn't gargantuan. I think that's all just being done by JGLF getting 600k. 600k on this map is pretty crazy. Just finding that one break around the middle of the map, recovering, getting 97.71%. GHOUL mode honestly doing pretty decently, but that pop-off from JGLF made up most of that difference, or maybe even more than that difference.
Is Spartan a feet guy? Because this is the second feet background, anime girl feet background I've seen out of a Spartan custom for Corsace. Okay. Well, whatever. Yeah. Yes, we'll move on from that.
Going into GHOUL mode's next pick, so yeah, Hidden 2, not a huge loss, but obviously still no Hiddens left at this point. Can still just go for... I mean, I think in this situation, you just play what you think you can get a good team score on and pretty much ignore what the other team's weak at. Because you're not going to find, like, massive differences there. So... probably just go for, I want to say, mechanics. If they're feeling good on tapping, they can go for like DT2, but the DT2 is pretty difficult. I would say quite a lot harder. Not quite a lot harder, but definitely a bit harder than the DT1, at least. Not really sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Looking at the qualifier results here, it's... I mean, it's a bit tough on the side of GHOUL mode. There's not any clear winning options, I feel like.
I still think maybe you just go Hard Rock 2, because their Hard Rock 2 was one of their better scores still. And actually, they go for No Mod 1. No Mod 1's also an option where it's just something that is pretty comfortable. I say pretty comfortable because this is still on the weirder end of a No Mod 1. I think this is a collab between a few players, Nissan, Lasse, and Deca. It's AR9. AR9 No Mod 1 at 190 BPM is bordering into the reading skill set, especially with some of the patterning in the map. So leans in to aim players who can also read density to an appropriate level.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know. It feels like the thing that I mean, we don't have a very large sample size, but the thing that went the best for GHOUL mode was Cedric Creator GD popping off on mechanics, pretty much. So this feels like it kind of runs counter to that. I mean, certainly something I expect Hanori to do very well on, but I'm not as confident in the remainder of the roster. I don't really know what they really look like on something like this.
I imagine Korean Maluko should do pretty well in this.
Yeah. Korean Maluko kind of plays everything well, so
Yeah.
he's pretty good at the game.
Yeah, I think it's another case of something GHOUL mode will probably be able to play pretty well, but also expect to see KFC, Zinger Box showing a pretty good roster to this. We are into it. I almost expected to see JGLF being in for this, but we see Sayo, Arbusion, CS2, and O/, the side of KFC Zinger Box, and Hanori, Creator, GD, Manivat, Korean Maluko for GHOUL mode. I think it's a pretty similar roster to what we've seen so far. I think this is a funny stat about this map is the OD being 9.2 and the AR being 9, which I don't even know if I can think of a single No Mod 1 that has OD higher than approach rating. You always have the OD be like 9 or something, and then the AR is like mid 9s. So far, everybody's just cruising along. Arbusion going to be the first to break. It's interesting seeing... Oh, I was about to say Creator GD having high, like low whack, but being on high combo all the time, and he's going to be the first to break on GHOUL mode, but O/ does match, still advantage. GHOUL mode, not anymore with Manivat dropping though.
If only the AR were 10, Manivat and
Yes.
Creator GD presumably both would still be comboing. But,
I agree.
Probably getting caught out a little bit by the AR9 here.
This part can be pretty tough to act. I think a few players getting some act drops on those 1/3s. So far, Hanori and Korean Maluko are holding strong. Sayo breaking right after the break.
What just happened?
I don't know what that miss was, but Korean Maluko does trade, so it's now once again even. DS2 up against Hanori with the FCs.
Oh my god, what?
Okay.
These Zinger Boxes just lost all their combo other than the one on CS2. Kind of a disaster, actually, because big combo being matched by Hanori. Some supporting combo on the side of GHOUL mode is going to bring this over pretty convincingly to their side in not too long a time.
I mean, even if Hanori breaks, the supporting combos are still going to do quite a lot to fight off CS2's FC. But right now with Hanori holding, GHOUL mode's going to be cruising along.
Well, so
and
far
CS2,
it's seeming like...
Okay, I think I missed that drop, but CS2 does break. So now it's GHOUL mode with a huge, I mean, just an absolute, like, dominant run right now. Hanori being the last FC, but the rest of the team has recovered. Meanwhile, on the side of KFC Zinger Box, really nobody has a combo.
God, GHOUL mode is having a more convincing match against the #1 seeded team in the group than I believe the #2 in the group. I don't know. Don't really know what's going on here.
Yeah, maybe just warmed up after playing this, you know, another match in the same pool right before. Have less nerves now. Yeah, this is definitely just gonna go to GHOUL mode. And actually a pretty good scoreline overall. I would say this is much harder to get a big score on than most no mod ones tend to be at this stage, just because of some of the patterns, the approach rating being 9, not super comfortable, and Hanori is on their way to an FC. Can they pull it off? Hoarding combos have disappeared, but Pick's already won. Sonora close it out. And they do, getting the lone FC of the match.
I do believe this is pretty much exactly Hanori's skill set. It's aim, it's slightly unconventional. It looks like a hidden one. He usually does great on hidden ones. It's the Hanori map of the pool practically, and big carry player for GHOUL mode.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean 2-2, like match being evened out, it's a lot closer than I think. Like this is still a completely even match, and with how like Hidden 2 wasn't won by a super dominant amount. Like Hard Rock 1 was pretty close. No mod 1 was pretty big gap. Like this is GHOUL mode on pace to have potentially a monstrous upset, but going into KFC Zinger Box's next pick.
And what are we thinking? Actually, how's No Mod 5? How do you think KFC Zinger Box look on something like that?
On
Pretty gimmicky stuff.
Like gimmicky polyrhythm. I mean, I think they'd have a decent team for it. I don't know if they have a super comfy 4. Also depends on how much they feel like they've practiced. It's hard to judge with a skill set like that. I feel like they have a really good capping roster, so I think something like Free Mod 1 or DT2 can be an option. I think the speed team is pretty scary on KFC Zinger Box, so like maybe more so than their qualities showed, but they instead go for No Mod 4. Which actually, yeah, this pick makes a lot of sense. The qualities didn't really have a no mod tech map, it more so had the Hidden 1 be the tech map. And yeah, they performed really well on that. I think this tech team is really good. Person to look out for on tech is going to be O/Slash. He's done some pretty scary things on tech in previous tournaments, notably in the accuracy department.
Although I feel like GHOUL mode should actually have a decent roster for this. Hanori and Manivat are the 2 players I'm most familiar with on there, and Korean Maluko also should be able to perform pretty well on it. Probably a pretty solid roster. I feel like one of the weaknesses of GHOUL mode would be tapping, so if there's potential to abuse that, that would certainly be where I'd hope to see KFC Zinger Box go, but...
Yeah, I mean, notably, the No Mod 3 in qualies, which was the speed map, you know, KFC Zinger Box doing really well on it. Expect to say, especially because this No Mod 4, I think KFC should have a advantage on this. I think they have a really good tech lineup, but this is a relatively accessible tech map, and I think Ghoul mode is going to be able to bring a good format to this. So you have to perform in this instance. You can't just win off comfort or skill gap alone. You have to actually perform. Meanwhile, speed, I don't know if there is as big of a margin to lose speed picks.
Yeah.
Like we have JGLF stepping back into the match. Price to see CS not in for this, but it's like we have, instead of Creator GD, we're gonna see Cedru stepping in. This is a pretty accessible tech map, not super crazy, just standard cuts and slider aim. Gotta look out for some of the slider ticks as well. Manivat going to be the first to break. JGLF does match. So does O/Slash. So does Arbusion. And we do see 2 more breaks from the side of Ghoul mode, so it's a lot closer right now. Sayo and Hinori as the lone FCs.
Oh, Hinori is just blatantly cheesing. He's just aiming the slider tanks. I just noticed that.
Obviously, as Corsace Open being entirely custom pooled, I believe this is the Nuge's first custom map for Corsace. It's no mod 4. Right now, it is like going to swing back to Ghoul mode because of Hinori's combo and those 2 recovered FCs.
Oh, actually,
that FC from, that FC from Hinori is currently not matched. It's once again a case of Hinori being the lone FC and on pace to carry the pick. Same thing happened on No Mod 1, and it's happening once again on No Mod 4. But No Mod 1 was at least Ghoul mode's pick. This is KFC ZingerBox's pick, so this is a much more brutal pick to lose. And so many misses. Hinori does go through, but does find a break. Now it's Manivat matching JGLF. With JGLF breaking, I think that's going to do it. Manivat does find a break, but is there enough time for KFC to take this pick back? I'm not sure.
I don't think, like, they don't have any combos. They're really struggling to put anything together here. I just don't see the recovery. It's like a 200k score gap here. It's just not enough time to really do anything.
Yeah,
it's gonna be the break point.
And now, wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Ghoul mode in the lead off the back of yet another breakpoint. I think actually, as much as Hinori was the big combo for a while, I think the more noteworthy score here is Korean Maluko with the 98.7 S rank. Pretty crazy accuracy for a map like this.
Yeah, getting the second lowest combo on their team, but getting a 500k through sheer force of accuracy. I mean, with that up 3-2, they now have the lead. And so this next pick could be huge for them. If they can pick a map and actually win it, they'll be up 4-2. They'll put incredible pressure on KFC ZingerBox, so have to see what they go for. So far, I would say the no mod pool in general has looked pretty good for them with that no mod 1 and no mod 4.
I guess it would be no mod 3 might be the move then. I don't I don't feel nearly as comfortable in suggesting no mod 5 for Ghoul mode. I feel like that's more a KFC Stinger Box map, if anything. Um, Probably not gonna want to go into any of the mod categories either. Not sure. Like, I
Yeah,
don't see them going DT. Like, first of all, that's just
yeah.
not happening. And free mod 1 as well. Just tapping in general, really, I don't see them doing. Actually, no mod 2 is kind of like the tech streamy nature of it. The fact that it's not tapping strain might also open that up as a
It is banned.
possibility.
It is banned.
It is banned, right? Okay,
Yeah.
it's right on my screen. I'm blind. Okay, great. Well, um, in that case, I mean, it is really no mod 3 then. That's the move, I think. There are other options, but it does appear to be the safer one. Maybe a little bit scary. The loss on DT1. I think it's a bit different though. Free mod 2 actually going to be the
Okay,
move
free mod
though.
2. Free mod 2, I think I was thinking between no mod 3, hard rock 2, and free mod 2.
Mm.
So free mod 2 rules for free mod is you have to bring at least one hard rock and one hidden. This map being pretty tough on both mods, but if you have a single like I think this is actually a good pick for a ghoul mode because they might struggle to find 4 very comfortable low AR or 6.5 players. But put your best reading player on the hidden, put your best hard rock game player on the hard rock, have 2
Yeah.
decent reading players. I think they could have a pretty good score for this, and that map definitely not super easy. Pretty consistently challenging overall. Apparently,
Still, yeah.
so this is mapped by Nightcore, and apparently every map he's made for Corsace is a song from Taiko no Tatsujin, which is pretty interesting. That's a good
I can respect the Taiko
yeah,
love. It's
sticking to the consistent song choice.
it's the good alternative game mode. Don't at me.
Oh, I don't know. I have a weird liking for Catch the Beat. I don't know why.
Is it even a rhythm game? I don't know. That's a little,
I mean, you do
maybe a little bit
things.
too hot of
Do
a
things
take.
to music. It's a rhythm game.
I guess, yeah.
Looks like for the
It
mods,
really is just pedantry, but
actually I don't think we see the mods themselves. We can see Arbusion on the hard rock makes sense. JGLF on the hidden, and we have Honori on hidden and Korean Maluko on the hard rock. It's a bit hard to track because you can't see the actual little mod icons, but no. Actually, I was gonna say no over modding, but it's also Creator GD on hidden hard rock, so double hard rock from the side of Ghoul mode. Three FCs to 1. There's Ghoul mode's pick, so KFC being able to regain a breakpoint would be very big for them. It's a very short map as well, already halfway through. And KFC still up 1 FC. It's going to be Sayo and Big Snag double breaking, but still 2 FCs for KFC. However, as time progresses, those supporting combos from Ghoul mode will swing the score back, and there's enough time for that to happen. Oh, that pattern was brutal. Manivat breaks, but so does JGLF. That is Ghoul mode favored. Korean Maluko and Honori, but Honori does drop.
Oh dear, is it still going over?
I think so, just because...
Korean Maluko breaks.
Yeah, Korean Maluko, that drop is going to be massive. Is there enough time? It's literally just
There's
hack.
no way. Okay.
Oh my god.
It actually goes over on like
Our
the single taps at the end.
Our fusion with the Hard Rock FC just edging out Korean Maluko's Hard Rock score, missing right at the end, ended up making the difference. And now KFC Zinger Box has recovered the breakpoint that they lost on No Mod 4. Now it's an even match once again. Oh, I mean, that's a gut-wrenching way to lose a pick.
Yeah.
Losing by under 30k.
That's the
Right-
kind
right
where
at the
every
end.
single player beats themselves up over it because just click a couple more notes before breaking, like just do the tiniest bit more, get a little bit more hack, and you got it in the bag. But unfortunately, it is going to be the evening out here, evening the scoreline up for KFC, being pushed maybe a bit further by GHOUL mode than they might have hoped for the bottom of the group here.
I mean, in a different world where Korean Maluko hits like those last two notes and now they're up 4-2,
Yeah,
and still get at least another pick, like that would be pretty crazy. It's still 3-3. However, I do want to say that like if KFC just picks Free Mod 1 or DT2, I think that is just a win for them. I could be wrong, but I feel like you have those two clear picks, and then it's up to GHOUL mode afterward to find a last pick to win, or to get into tiebreaker. I mean, they're still thinking. Yep, they do go free mod 1, so picking the tapping map. Now, one really cool thing about this free mod 1, and it's sort of been my complaint with free mod 1s, and now that it's like a free mod and not a no mod 5, is for the modded players, like Hard Rock just always feels worse than Hidden, because you have to deal with OD10 and then also sometimes like CS 5.2 aim. But because it's all, custom mapped, this one is CS 3.5 and AR 9.3, which makes it actually hard to read for hidden players because 9.3 at 230 BPM is unironically challenging. And then that CS 3.5 makes it a bit more comfortable for the Hard Rock players to aim, so they just have to deal with OD10. So I think for like modded, it's going to be pretty balanced between the difficulty for Hard Rock and difficulty for hidden. Still probably up to the no mod players to be the biggest chunk of the scores, but this is an instance of like custom maps being really, really good for map pooling, I think. Yeah, when you look at the quality results, KFC did pretty well on the speed map, getting 8th overall in the no mod 3. GHOUL mode getting 22nd, but this is definitely easier in terms of star rating, so definitely could see GHOUL mode perform better on this. And they've been playing a pretty good match. A lot of these picks have been really close, so especially the free mod 2 notably.
the question is whether or not just it being tapping inherently deflates any kind of hopes of competing on it. That's
Yeah.
that would kind of be my concern. I just feel like KFC Zinger Box ought to be a bit too favored on this. Feel like it's really something they should have been picking earlier.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to see tapping be picked this late, especially because they're not going to get another pick. They either win their opponent's pick and it's done, or it goes to tiebreaker, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, I feel like if this in DT2, maybe even DT3, especially because DT3 is really difficult. That really is like a skill cap testing map. So those could have been other picks, but this is how it's going now. Not sure if
Even
we're
when
in
DT3
this
is
yet.
left open, it's kind of questionable whether or not someone would even want to go for it. I think it's a bit scary. I think DT3 is quite a particular map. It's pretty tough to deal with.
I agree, but I feel like, Sio, CS2, Big Snag on that kind of map would just pop off. Now, apparently, I think the streamer doesn't have the map,
Oh,
which is unfortunate. Does not mean we'll get to see it, so very unfortunate to see. It is a, first stream match. Things happen.
things do happen. Well, that is deeply unfortunate. I don't know if there's any hopes of getting back in it on time.
Yeah, I guess we'll just wait around until the pick is over and check the MP link.
The custom song of all things. That is deeply unfortunate. Oh no.
I assume this will be picked like multiple times.
Yeah. I
So
think we definitely have.
yeah,
We're going to see this later.
yeah, for
It will
sure.
happen, but
Yeah, for sure we'll see this map be picked later. But
we'll just twiddle our thumbs here for a bit. I do believe it's over now. Map has ended, and it's gone in favor of Ghoul
Ghoul
mode
mode,
in a
Ghoul
massive
mode
way.
won
What the hell is
by
this?
like 800k with a hidden Hard Rock FC from Creator GD, an FC from
Well,
Korean Maluko on Hard Rock, and 2 good backing scores. Wow.
a real shame that we did not see this map. Why the hell is Hanori 1 missing? I don't really know what... Hanori's not supposed to be a tapping player, but I guess he is. Enough to put that score up as well. Like, even the supporting scores are pretty decent. This is a huge score gap.
Yeah, this is
800k. I mean, what the hell? They just got smoked. Like,
yeah, that is unfortunately we didn't get to see that. Things happen. But now it's Ghoul mode, up 4-3. And forget everything I said about speed in this matchup and flip it around, because now maybe DT2 is looking good for Ghoul mode.
yeah.
They're guaranteed tiebreaker at this point, but they do have the opportunity to pick something that will close this match out now. Not sure exactly what you go for, but DT2 is now an option based on how dominant that free mod 1 was.
Actually, I should have known, because Honori's the type of person you can't trust what he says when he's saying like, "Oh, I'm so bad at this." Like, no, he isn't actually. He's actually great. He's actually pretty good at it. I don't know. God, he can probably do well on DT2 as well if he can do this on the free mod 1. So, God.
Yeah.
And then just create a GD Kareem Milk. Just the fact that they have backing scores as well, right, is also like kind of insane to me. It's just a full all-around really strong team performance.
Yeah, really solid score overall. Massive improvement from Quali's. I think Ghoul mode overall is playing super well. Meanwhile, KFC is maybe not having their best day. I think nobody on KFC FCing the free mod 1 is, you can definitely consider an underperformance.
Yeah.
You would not expect that. And they go for DT2. So just going off the free mod 1 score, there's obviously not a lot left in the map pool being the last possible pick. So I think this is fair.
I think with this win alone, this group is going to be thrown into disarray. I mean, God only knows what's going to happen from here on out.
Yeah, if the lowest seeded round robin team beats the highest seeded round robin team as the first match of the round robin that's streamed, that would be pretty interesting to say the least. I think a lot
Well,
of
they've already lost a match as well. Like, this group
yeah,
is going to be pretty ridiculous. It's going to be hard to get
yeah.
out of.
I expect to see pretty. Yeah, I mean, for the side of GHOUL, I imagine we're going to see the exact same rosters. Nobody on KFC like doing tragically. Everybody getting over 500k, just no FCs. So maybe we'll see the exact same team. Just hope they perform better.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be perfectly happy to see that. I don't think that's a blunder or anything. I mean, presumably it's you're not necessarily going to have the flexibility of a team size 8 either. There might not be anyone who can really step in. I wouldn't know exactly, but team size 6 does limit things. Very likely to see just the same roster either way.
I think the only potential swap is Arbusion coming in for one of the players. I don't think DGLF is super comfortable on tapping, so maybe
Yeah.
Arbusion, but other than that, expect to see pretty similar roster.
Yeah, DT2 more on the stamina end of things than the free mod one, and obviously DT, not free mod. It's not the exact same thing. Still, I don't know. Going off that ridiculous performance on free mod one that he unfortunately missed out on, still kind of want to favor GHOUL mode. Just off that.
Yeah, I
AFC
think
do or die moment.
it is.
I
It's
actually
their
do
place
want to
to
see
be.
TB. It would be kind of fun.
100%. I think the tiebreaker is really cool. So would hope to see a tiebreaker just for the fun of it. But I want to say DT2 is probably harder than free mod 1. So maybe we'll favor tapping skill cap a little bit more. I mean, it is 7 stars. Free mod 1 without any mods was 6.7 stars, but it was the 2 Hard Rock players who did FC. But now we're getting into it. Oh, never mind. We're not getting into it. We'll see a desktop.
We're getting into something. I don't know. That's Is that visible on stream? Is that yeah, okay.
Yeah, it is.
I, it's a kind of a weird moment. I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything.
Maybe just the tournament client needing to be reset. Hopefully we get to see that, because I believe they're already in the match. Or like they're playing the map right now.
Yeah. Oh, is this yet again just missing map? I think it might be. I think that's exactly what's
I
happening.
hope not. I would be very sad. Because this is for tiebreaker or for the match right now.
Yeah. I'd pull up my own tourney client, but it kind of takes a while.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have enough time to get
Yeah.
anything ready, so this Prage. How long is the map anyway? Map should be like somewhere around 2 minutes, so it's gonna be close to finishing. If it goes to TB, I really hope we get to see TB, but we actually don't know if that's gonna happen just yet. Yeah, not too much to say there. Assume the pick is likely almost done. And it is actually going to be KFC winning by like 100k off the back of Korean Maluko getting 900k, Creator
Let's
GD getting
go.
700k, but the overall consistency of KFC's roster just outdoing them. So it ended up being pretty close, but it is now 4-4 and it's going to go to tiebreaker. I just hope the stream ends up being fixed in time,
It'll be fine, okay? Don't worry
I'm
about it.
I will crumble and cry if we do not get to see this tiebreaker.
It's happening. It's all gonna be fine.
Things are opening. I hear music.
The map imported correctly. Osu did not do any funny business with it. We're gonna see Bat Country. It's just, it'll all be okay.
Yes, everything will be okay. I believe. But yeah, tiebreaker. This is a banger of a matchup for the tiebreakers. Seed 9 versus Seed 24. In Group A, this is mapped by data, and when I looked at it, like, obviously, ideally for tiebreakers, you have a good mix of skill sets, and I would say it's going to be harder to find tiebreakers that are this, like, you know, have so many skills tested. It's 125 BPM. The jumps play like 250 BPM jumps, so on the higher side for the jumps, but still single tappable if you're a fast player. Has some 1/6 streams which play like 188 BPM as a section that's like a 250 BPM stream. So overall, just a really good splash of a bunch of different skill sets. It's really going to just be a great test of your overall comfort level, you know, playing, just playing skill cap, 7 stars.
Funky alt. I don't know. It's a funny looking, funny kind of a map.
Yeah.
It throws a lot at you.
I would say alt, but 125 BPM is low enough, especially for a lot of patterns that don't go on for too long. A lot of people at this skill level will be able to single tap it if they want to. So you can kind of see it as like a pseudo speed map or like an alt jump map at this BPM. If it was like 140, I would definitely lean more to it being an alt map, but
I just feel like it's a bit awkward when it's flowy to spam single taps.
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I feel like it's a bit tougher when that's the case.
Yes, we're gonna get into it. Unfortunately, didn't see the last 2 maps, but we see the most important map of the match, which is the tiebreaker. We're gonna see Arbusion, CS2, O/Slash, and Sayo for KFC Zinger Box, and Sedru, Creator GD, Manivet, and Kareem Naluko for Ghoul mode. Already going, I think, further than anybody anticipated originally, taking KFC to tiebreaker. Oh, and Arbusion note locking badly. Kareem Naluko does find a miss, but that chain miss from Arbusion is going to tank his accuracy pretty bad. Manivet does find a break, but so does Sayo. So does O/Slash. Obviously still very early on into a pretty long map, but don't like to see that just for overall, like, comfort level getting to this map. Looks like the players have recovered at this point. It's like at some point O/Slash found another miss, but right now 3 pretty big combos to 4. Only a third through of the map. We have a little slow section here. Actually surprised to see so few breaks during that tapping section.
Yeah. I was not expecting to see so many large combos still. People still going. Sedru Manivet though, 2 breaks.
I believe it was on that linear jump. And now that's going to be advantage KFC. That score lead will slowly swing over as Arbusion, CS2, and Sayo are all above 700 combo. See the speed section, Arbusion will find a break, so does O Slash, but he didn't have too big of a combo. It's now 2 combos to 2. Here's the stream section. CS2 drops on his creator. And now Sayo and Korean Maluko getting through that 250 BPM stream towards the end. I believe there's like one big aim section to go through. GHOUL mode has a pretty big score lead because of some of the supporting combos, but it's really just down to Sayo and Korean Maluko.
All these 2 combos.
They both get through that section.
God.
I believe if both Sayo and Korean Maluko hold through, this is going to go to GHOUL mode, but there's still a third of the map left. And both of them get through that stream! Okay. However, the supporting combos are pretty much gone from GHOUL mode now. KFC has some supporting combos building up. Maluko finds a break, and now that's only Sayo with a big combo. It's not an FC, but it's very close. If he holds on for a little bit longer, that score is going to flicker.
Sayo is going so huge.
The last hope of the Australians is clutching this up. The score lead has flickered. It's now Arbusion and O Slash as well with a recovery combo. Basically nothing on the side of GHOUL mode. And it's pretty much done. This is a very chill outro. I think this is over.
To the end? Is this it?
I believe so. I think this is pretty much it. I think KFC.
I mean, I feel bad for GHOUL mode on some level, getting all this way and still not taking the win would have just made the group all that more exciting. Really, really competitive if they could have taken this win.
They might have not ended up taking it, but they got really far, almost winning on Tiebreaker. It just came down to Sayo with a massive performance as this map unwinds. Yeah, well done to Sayo for putting the team on his back and carrying them through the finish line. And props to GHOUL mode as the 24th seeded team, like really showing up.
Yeah,
putting up a really, really good fight. Losing a few picks by a margin, and yeah, that's gonna be KFC Zinger Box taking the match 5-4. Absolute banger of a match. Really glad I got to witness that. Damn.
Well, GG, well played to both teams, but it is still the Australians. It is still the higher seeded team. Can GHOUL mode still make it out of the group?
I
because
believe
they are 0-2 now. They are 0-2.
They're 0-2. If they beat the last team, which I believe is Blue Pants, and Blue Pants ends up going 0-3, which might not happen. We'll see. But yeah, it's definitely, for how close that match was, it would be a shame to get fourth in the groups, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome match. Really glad I got to see not just the tiebreaker, but a very, very close tiebreaker. And we'll have to see. I'm not sure. Let me look at the stream schedule.
Yeah, we're supposed to be switching over to another match right now. I believe.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we're switching over to match. Enjoy that. See if do you know what match that is?